guys, Laura here. I'm here to do a top 5 Wednesday. So the theme this week was books that you should go into without reading the synopsis. A majority of these books are solely mysteries and psychological thrillers because I often feel like those books really you don't. Sometimes the summary guides you too much and you don't want to be guided, and that's the books I'm going to focus on for this video. The first book I'm going to chat about is Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I really love this story, and I remember I didn't really read the synopsis, and I think I read a little bit of it, and I wish I hadn't because it really took the surprise out of Sam's story, and I really wanted to be surprised. And I think going into the story blind, you will kind of be totally with Sam in her own headspace and not have anything else in your head. And I really think that that's the way to go with this story. But it's a really gripping mystery, and it's a lot about self discovery and finding your own identity when something tragic happens. And I really, really loved it. And I just recommend that you go in totally blind. It is a great Halloween read as well. And if that's when I read it, and I highly recommend coming in Halloween, this is a perfect Halloween read. And recommend that you give it a try without reading the synopsis and report back and let me know what you thought. The book I'm going to chat about was We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. Somehow remained spoiled, like non-spoiled on this book. I would say go out right now, buy the deluxe edition, and read this book. I don't want to say anything about it. I just want you to read it because I think that this story really is one of those stories that you don't want to know anything going into it because it will totally ruin it and it might lead you in one direction. And it was a really gripping mystery. Some people have said that recently that it was totally predictable. I did not feel that way at all. So I'll be curious to see your reaction. But if you have not read this book, go read it right now. Go pick up the collector's edition. The next book I'm going to talk about is Unrivaled by Alyson Noël. Now, I think that there is a massive spoiler in the summary of this book. And the reason I say it's a massive spoiler is because it is kind of teased at the start of it, but you don't really get the payout of it until like the middle of the book. So for this whole book, I'm waiting for this to happen, and because of that, the book dragged for me because I just wanted this to happen to get the story going, but it really didn't happen until the end of the story, and that was really like a spoiler for book two, really, because we didn't really get the payoff of that until we won't get it until book two. So I feel like going into this book totally blind might make the reading experience a little bit less judgy because I was like, when is this thing gonna happen? You told me about it in the summary, and then it didn't happen till like 70% through the story, and I was like, that is a stupid thing to put in your summary. So perhaps don't read the summary for this book. But overall, I really like the concept and still need to pick up book two. The next book I'm going to talk about is The Darkest Mind series by Alexandra Bracken. It's very full of dystopian series at the moment, but I really love this series, and I think that it really can sit on its own without a summary, and I think that you should really just explore this world through the actual text and not through someone telling you what's going to happen, like in a summary. And I think the world is really complex and really, really well built, but I don't think you should be spoiled about what is going to happen because I think that the beauty in this story is what happens and the interactions between everyone, and you should go into the story kind of blind. Recommend you do it soon because the movie's coming out and there will be press everywhere. But this book kind of did dive under the radar a little bit, and I would love for you to experience this story without no summary and go in blind. The last book series I'm going to talk about is the Illuminae series by Amie Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Again, if for some reason you have not heard or read this series, I highly recommend you read it. But don't read anything about it and don't get a paperback copy of this book. Don't get an e-copy of this book. You either have to listen to it via audiobook or you need to physically read the book, like a hardback of it or like a paperback, because this story needs to be told visually where you could see it and see all the little details. I don't want to say anything about it. I just want to say it's a science fiction novel that has some horror related elements to it, but it is really good, really, really well done, and I love Amie Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. They are both hysterical, and it definitely shows in the writing of this novel, and I cannot wait for the final book. It comes out in March, so you have a couple of months to catch up, and I need to hear your thoughts, so let me know in the comments. This is my top 5 Wednesday for this week. Let me know in the comments what are some book series that you recommend that I read without reading the summary. I am sure there are some out there, but I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!